Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Hope your Saturday is starting off well. It is Saturday, May the 2nd, 2026. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show hosted by Mr. Mike Overson of Luminate Bank, Scott Wolmering. I'm Ryan O'Neill with the Minnesota Real Estate Team, RE/MAX Advantage Plus. Hope your weekend is starting off well. Scott, good morning to you there, buddy.
Yeah, good to be here. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Like Ryan said, this is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We're here every Saturday for an hour. Love your comments through the entire show. Any questions you have, just type it in on social media. You can call us at 612-294-6949, or you can text us at that number if you're a little shy about going on air.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about in studio. Mike Wichello, Opportunities in Business, a longtime buddy, longtime friend. You're a good man, Mike. You're a good man. Thank you for being here. Excited to have you on board, buddy.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Just going to promote our business brokering today.
Yeah, Mike does a great job. Just a wonderful guy. We've been friends for a long time. Mike and I have been friends for 20 plus years through our late friend, Mr. Rob Bonahum, who sadly passed away. But our good buddy Rob, he was a good guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a great guy. It'd be great to have. I wonder what he's thinking right now with us three.
All right, hey, we're going live on air here, everybody. Thanks for joining us on CCO. Good morning. Welcome to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Hope your Saturday is starting off well. Top of the morning. It's May. Can you believe it's May? And we're live here Saturday mornings at the Minnesota Real Estate Show. It's hosted by Mike Overson, Luminate Bank, Scott Wolmering, and I'm Ryan O'Neill, the Minnesota Real Estate Team, RE/MAX Advantage Plus. We welcome your calls and texts throughout the show. We are live here at WCCO. Interrupt us, 612-294-6949 at any point, 612-294-6949. Scott, good morning to you, buddy.
Yeah, good to be here. Appreciate everybody tuning in. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We talk everything real estate and mortgage related as it relates to the Twin City market in Western Wisconsin. Been doing this for about 20 plus years. We love you tuning in. We love your questions and comments through the show. It makes it a better show. So if you have any questions, go ahead and type them in on social media, or 612-294-6949 is how you can reach us. The beginning of the show, we go through a couple updates, typically a little market update with what's going on real estate wise, and then also from a lender perspective, what's going on in the mortgage market.
It is a better show when we hear from the listeners. That's
No one wants to hear us talk for an hour.
Hear us drone on
Yes.
about if you've got maybe something you're thinking about with the market, buying, selling questions. As we like to say, there are never any dumb questions at all. Anything at all that you're thinking of, please interrupt us, 612-294-6949. Scott, a quick market update here in the first segment. New listings, new homes for sale in the Twin Cities, up almost 13%. That's encouraging. 1,655 new homes on the market. Pending sales also up almost 7%. 7% more accepted purchase agreements, 1,120 here in the Twin Cities metro area. And the inventory is up 8.8%, which is 9,387. Scott, new listings increasing 13%, pendings up 7%. Any thoughts, bud?
Yeah, I got a lot of thoughts. Probably the last 2 weeks, I've gotten more calls from agents worried about pricing. What's going on with pricing? You know, I looked at this house a year ago, it was this, and now it's only this. Or I put this house on the market and I've already done 2 or 3 price reductions. Getting a lot of price reductions. So we have preached on this show for the last, multiple years that we need more inventory, which we do. There's no doubt. I mean, we're still seeing multiple offers and price ranges. But I'll tell you what, it's tougher out there depending on the price range that you're in. We are seeing a lot of, a year ago it was selling for 800. Now it's selling for 725. A year ago it was selling for $1 million. Now it's selling for 875. So there's been an adjustment. And even though 9,300 homes is not a lot of homes on the market, 18,000 is balanced. You got to remember, we've been used to this time of the year, We've been used to 5,500 homes, 6,000 homes. We're at 9,300. So instead of competing like we would have 2 years ago in a price range against 4 homes, you might be competing against 21 homes or 25 homes. So yes, not a lot of inventory. It's not 100 homes on the market, but 25 homes is enough for people to go out, look at homes, look for a second look. Look at things that might not be interested in right now because of pricing and watching it come down. That was unheard of 2 years ago.
We interest rate mortgage update in the first segment from our friend Mr. Mike Overson. Again, Luminate Bank. They're a local bank. Very good folks. Mike and his team. Mike is a trusted lender. He works with all of our friends at the various real estate brokers in town. Super good guy. Encourage you to reach out to him. He said the 30-year fix this week averaged 6.3. They've ebbed and flowed a little bit. Purchase applications, he said, are up 20% above a year ago. Wow, 20%, Mike said. He said that it's clear that purchase demand continues to hold up as prospective buyers react to both modestly lower rates and more inventory to choose from. So interesting, Scott, 6.3 for that interest rate.
Yeah, so 6.3, they were 6.8 a few weeks ago. So those are dropping. Applications are up 20% with lenders. That means that there's a ton of people that are out there getting qualified to buy a house. So why are we feeling the lag? That's the big question for agents out there. Maybe you can type in, give us your comments on it, but there definitely is a lag. You're not putting a home on, getting 30 showings in the first 3 days and 10 offers in all price ranges. So when you're doing a market analysis right now, we're so used as agents to go back 6 months and evaluate, where we're at in a 6-month period. I would really caution you. The last 3 listings I put on, I've actually gone back 30 days just to look at what is actually occurring right now. Because if you go back 6 months, you're going to get a wrong number because it's different.
Yeah, and we had a question here, and again, you can interrupt us at any point. Just a question asking about days on market. Right now, the average days on market until sale is 62. Last year at this time, it was 59. So a slight increase for days on market, historical days on market. Scott,
but you can't go back 2 years ago, but I know 3 years ago it was 36.
Hey, Scott, guess what the days on market back in 2009 was? The beginning of 2009.
Okay, hold on.
Average historical days on market.
So 2009, we were just getting out at the back end of the crash. Oh God, 146?
162 days.
Yes, I was going to say that had to be a lot longer.
Think about that, 162 days. 2011, 160 days. Back in the midpoint of 2021, it was 20.
I was going to say, that's what I remember. 4 years ago, 20 days on market. Now it's 62, which is not a lot, but it's not 20 days.
Yeah. Hey, we're up against our first break at the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We do appreciate you listening to us. If you're catching us on any of the social media platforms, thank you. Here on CCO, we appreciate it. We are a local real estate team. We help people buy homes, sell homes, invest in real estate. Please reach out anytime. Hope you and your families can get out and enjoy the sunshine. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show.
Yeah,
hey,
go ahead.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. We appreciate it. A lot of nice comments, a lot of folks joining us on all the platforms. This is Mike Wichello. Mike, you are a good man. We love having you with us. We've got a long history, friend.
Oh, yeah. We go back 25 years.
Mike, it was interesting, not to go on a tangent, but we were talking just beforehand about you owned restaurants.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit. Good, bad, indifferent.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. But I owned 2 Carboni's pizzas.
Carboni's.
And then I went on to have another bar restaurant in Oakdale called Duke's. Helped me get my kids through college. And now I'm back in the real estate game.
What did you like about it? What was a good thing about owning a restaurant?
It was nice meeting good people.
Yeah.
The hardest part was...
You're like the mayor of Oakdale over there. This guy knows everybody.
No. But the hardest part is the hours you put in.
Oh.
I mean, you have to be there every day. So
how about working with staff and stuff? Good, bad, indifferent. How is that working with folks?
There's some really, just like anything, there's some really good employees. And then there's the people that you let you down 2 minutes before their shift starts that they're sick. So you end up working the fryer that day.
Oh no.
So back in the day before real estate, obviously Ryan knows this and people close to me know this, but so back before I got into real estate back in 1993 through about 1997, I owned 3 preschools,
which is crazy when you know Scott.
Like, how in the world did you own preschools?
Scott's very compassionate. He's very understanding.
So I owned 3 preschools, and I had 160 employees, 99% which were women because it's a caring industry.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
And I'll tell you what, and you probably can attest to this in the business you were in.
Mm-hmm.
Men are not brutal to each other.
No,
women. Oh my
totally.
gosh, they are. I didn't go a day.
They're cutthroat.
Oh my! I didn't go a day without having 2 or 3 in my office crying.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
it was. Women are not nice to each other in the workplace.
Yeah, it's interesting though that you've owned this. Just thinking about, because we've talked as well. My sister Mary owns a daycare. I shared a post for. She's had a daycare for 30 years, and she just has a heart for it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Just really like a servant's heart and for the children. She put up a post and like half of New Prague commented because she's had their kids. Here we go. We're going back live on air. Thanks for joining us. Hey, welcome back to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We appreciate you listening. Scott, a quick minute of hope. You ready for something good?
I need a little hope.
Yeah, a minute of hope. This week, tomorrow, Sunday, that's May the 3rd, we are opening the St. Bridget House of Hope, which is the second house here with the O'Neill Foundation of Hope. It is transitional housing, helping those in need. We're very excited about this second house. It's in Bloomington. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath Rambler. And the open house is tomorrow from 1 to 3. Everybody's invited. CCO listeners, friends, family. It's from 1 to 3. We're going to be doing a little house prayer and blessing at 1:30. And Scott, much like you, all of us here at the Minnesota Real Estate Show are very passionate about housing and providing housing, obviously being in the industry. And the young family moving in, the father, wonderful guy. He has no bed. He has been sleeping on the floor. And he is an inspiring young man. And so that's what we're about. We want to lift those people up, provide a little help. And we're excited about this House of Hope here tomorrow, bud.
Yeah, just incredible what you guys do, helping, 2 to 3 families a week. I mean, think about that. A week in the Twin City area that need immediate help, can't make their mortgage payment, are going to lose their house, a sickness that they can't work. And you guys step in with immediate relief and give these people hope, which is where the O'Neill Foundation of Hope comes from. So it's awesome.
Some people have said, why St. Bridget? Obviously, with being O'Neill, last name with a kind of an Irish, both, I think of my father, my dad, and St. Bridget was very passionate about the poor, Scott, and about helping those that are in a tough spot. And so, Dad hopefully is smiling down. We're all doing this. It's a collective effort by a lot of people, a lot of good folks, a lot of supporters. So thank you to everybody that makes this happen. It's a group effort all the way around, Scott.
Yeah, well, and St. Scott was taken, so they had to go with St. Bridget.
I know it was, dude.
I was hurt. I was hurt by it. I know your mom wanted to have the house named after me.
Well, hey, there's going to be more coming.
Yeah.
This is not the end of the story, buddy. This is not the end of the story, but you got some comments?
Well, actually, I just have a real weird, when you said open house, it reminded me, I got a great open house today. Craig Hiller on the team is doing an open on 16461 Equestrian Trail in Lakeville. This is a Rambler built by Robert Thomas. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath. In a neighborhood called Spirit, which is just an awesome neighborhood. It's got clubhouses, it's got miles of walking paths, it's got a pool, and he will be there today between 11 and 12:30. So go see Mike. The house is priced at $675,000, and again, it is 16461 Equestrian Trail in Lakeville today between 11 and 12:30.
Go see Craig, you mean?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was good. What
Or Mike.
was I saying Mike again?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'll tell you what, the older I get, the more I do that stuff. I had to call my seller today and say, I know I've been saying Mike for the last 4 days. It's Craig Hiller that is doing the
Yeah,
opening.
Craig Hilliard
Craig Hiller. Yeah.
does a great job. Hey, we got a caller here, Jerry, who called the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Jerry, thanks for calling in, and how can we best help?
Sure. I want to talk to you guys about these real estate agents that are going around giving you a guaranteed cash offer. Now, I've got a home that it was built in 1914, and it's an older home. I can guarantee you it's worth at least $225 because I do comps in the area all the time. And so I get these offers in the mail that they're going to give me this is January of 26, they're going to give me $169,000. And in February, they're going to give me $168,000. And then in March, the mailer here says that they're going to give me $180,000. So if my home is worth $225,000, that's about at least a 20% difference in price. So would you rather pay a 7% commission or lose 20% on the value of your home? And then I also get a flyer in the mail here from this same person. And they're telling you about the real estate market. And they make a comment here in the newspaper. It says it's clear that the days when every house had multiple offers are gone.
Well, I'm glad you made the call. And if you've listened to the show for many years, you know that I am not a fan of the guaranteed sale. And I have not seen a situation in the whatever it's been 10 years, and I've run scenarios on a lot of them. I have not run into one situation where the seller did not get completely pounded, and the premise is, hey, sell without any issues and no headaches and whatever else. If I put your house on the market for $169,000, I'd have 50 offers on it in 45 minutes, and we would get way past your $225,000. So stay away from it. It is not in the best interest of any seller out there. It's in the best interest of the company that's doing it. And we know that there's one individual that does the majority of them or preaches it. And understand also that it mostly is a bait and switch. They don't want to buy your house for $169,000. They want to list it. And so they're using it to get in the door. Ryan hates when I do this because I'm hurting people's feelings, but it's just what it is. I mean, if 20% was all you were getting hit, that would actually be a win, because what I've looked at, they're mostly 30-35%. So they're telling you 189, they come in, oh gosh, it's actually not 189, it's 150. And before you know it, you're giving your house away. It's not a good deal.
Hey, Jerry, how do you think Scott feels about this?
Oh gosh,
Well, I have another comment to make. They also advertise that if you're listed with me, you don't have to do anything. That's like they're implying that if you go with another real estate agent, you're going to have to clean, you're going to have to paint. Well, any real estate agent will sell it as is, correct?
Oh gosh, and I'll tell you what, Ryan and I will buy your house. You want to sell your house for $169,000? I can call 30 agents right now that will buy it from you, and it will be because you're such a sweet man and they want to help you. It's not. List your house, and if it is that you don't want to put up with headaches, I'll put you up in a hotel for 48 hours, bring you a bunch of offers, and you're gone. But do not use these companies. It is not in your best interest. It is in theirs.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
Hey, appreciate the call.
Thank you, Jerry. Jerry sounds like a nice guy. I like Jerry. Scott, I just sometimes wonder how you feel.
Well, I mean, it's just crazy. And you know what? I'm for anybody making money. It's just be straight forward with what you're doing. I mean, at least go in and say, look, you're getting a horrible deal on this, but if you want to sell it because you don't want to pick up some I don't know, you don't want to vacuum your carpet, I mean, sell your house, then I guess yes, it's worth $50,000.
Ryan, what do you think about that?
I think, Scott makes some good points, and so do you, Ryan.
See?
Switzerland.
We love Ryan Perpich. Hey, 612-294-6949 is how you can join us here at the Minnesota Real Estate Show. At any point, had a couple texts. This one says, how about the Fed hinting at raising rates if the war doesn't end soon? which it looks like it will not end soon because Trump can't swallow his ego. Okay. And then I got another text that says, don't sell your home to a corporation. Your neighbors will thank you.
Yes.
That's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. Don't sell your home to a corporation. It seems like there's less of that, less of the corporate stuff happening. I'm seeing, Scott, like with our team, in a small kind of microcosm, less of buying and selling by corporations with our team.
Yeah, in a hot market, and that's why the whole buy your house with no headaches, it just doesn't make any sense in this market. In a market going back to 2006 through about 2009, where your house could literally sit on the market for 9 months and you might get 1 or 2 showings on it. Yeah, at that time, I could see if someone was willing, but you remember, no one was guaranteeing your house back then. No one wanted to buy your house back in 2007. They want to buy your house. They want to buy your house now because they can sell it in immediate profit. Back then, no one was buying houses. So yeah.
Hey, before the halfway point, also had a couple listings we got to touch on. Mr. Steve Howe, awesome agent with the Minnesota real estate team and Remax Advantage Plus. He has one in Shakopee, Scott, 1930 Parkway Avenue in Shakopee, 250. It's a bright end unit townhouse, 2 large bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, including a private primary bath, upper level laundry, a large patio next to walking and biking trails, stainless steel appliances, extra garage storage, 250 for that one, 1930 Parkway Avenue is that property. Be sure to check that out. And then Miss Laura Antolek, she's got one in Farmington, 19791 Evensong Avenue in Farmington for $520. This is a one owner, 2-story walkout home, 4-bed, 4-bath, 3-car garage. Lots of updates in the last 5 years: new roof, furnace, air exchanger, water heater, softener, washer, quartz countertops, stainless steel appliances. It's a great lot. A lot of privacy, fenced backyard, 2 large patios and a deck, 9-foot ceilings, 9-foot ceilings in the basement as well. And there's an oversized concrete driveway as well with a herringbone brick patio. That is 19791 Evensong Avenue in Farmington for $520. You know that area, don't you, Scott?
Very, very much so. Great area. And that was Laura Antolek.
Yep.
Very good agent.
Yeah, Miss Laura Antolek. And one last one before the break. This is 850. This property's in Chanhassen, 9820 Deerbrook Drive in Chanhassen for $850. It's a 2-story, 4-bed, 4-bath, almost 3,000 square feet, 3-car garage. You got a 2.5-acre lot, great location, and it sits in a neighborhood where most homes, they say, are 1.25 to 2.5 million. And this one, again, listed with Jason Walgrave, 9820 Deerbrook Drive in Chanhassen, Scott.
Yeah, one thing that was interesting that we don't talk a lot about with this guaranteed sale program, or when companies would come in and buy it, and where it said the neighbor will thank you not to do it. You got to remember that if you have a neighborhood that's worth home sales are worth $500,000, let's use as an example, and you sell your house for $350,000, well, you've just set the earliest comp. So if your neighbor who has a house worth $500,000 and it's the same house, but you took $350,000 and they put their house on, now they struggle to get that number because agents go, oh my gosh, your neighbor's house just sold for $350,000.
Hey, right after the break, Mike Wichello, Opportunities in Business. Scott, or Mike, you've been listening to us jib jab here for the first half hour. Are you ready to talk a little business brokering?
I'm all ready, Ryan.
Mike's a great guy, wonderful guy. He helps folks who are selling businesses. He's owned businesses himself, Carboni's Pizzas, Duke's over in Oakdale. Just a great guy. I affectionately call him the mayor of Oakdale. He knows everybody in the East Metro. Be sure to tune into his segment right after the break. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Mike, you are the mayor.
That was pretty nice, yeah. Hey, that market time in 2009, I mean, a lot of that was due to all them short sales too, because those things wouldn't close for a year.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like you had I remember actual regular listings back then that weren't short sales and weren't bank owned. That, I mean, my God, you get 2 showings in 3-4 months.
God, people made a fortune off that, I know.
Oh,
cash.
There was more transfer of wealth between 2005 and 2000, let's call it 11, than I think we'll ever see again. If you were liquid at that time and could buy anything that you
Right.
could, I mean, I had investors that bought 50, 60, 75 homes at that time.
But yeah, they were
Hey.
smart. Like I had a guy when I was working with Ryan, on the team. I had a guy that I know still. He just had money. He had a wood company, and he had tons of cash. And not that he went crazy on it, but he bought like 6 houses, and he would just be firm. He'd just say, "I'll give you $70,000 for a townhome. Take it or leave it."
Yeah.
They'd call us back like 6 months later and say,
We'll take it.
Hey, good morning. A lot of nice comments. Bill, Donna, Stephen, so many nice comments. Thank you all. Brian had a comment for us, guys, asking as a seller, can you speak to the importance of feedback? Say you have 24 showings on your property in a week, but only 1 or 2 buyer agents actually leave feedback or respond to the listing agent. Wouldn't make more sense if more buyer agents gave sellers feedback in real time? Thank you, Brian, for listening.
Yes, and I'll tell you what. Here's what's happening.
Yeah, what's happening?
Well, I was like my last 3 or 4 listings, because we normally get 8 out of 10. We call for 3 days in a row. We text 3 days in a row to get the feedback. We
To get
normally
feedback.
get about 8 out of 10. There was a lawsuit that was out where a buyer had charged their agent because the agent said, "Oh, my buyer is really interested. They love the house. They absolutely adore it. 5 out of 5." And the buyer came back and said, "Well, you just screwed my bargaining position because you told the seller how much I love the house, and so you hurt me." And so agents that read that, like I did, are probably going, "You know what? We're just going to give either no feedback or just generic feedback." And that's, I think, what's happening.
Yeah, the courtesy is, I think, what Brian, as a great builder, by the way, is asking for. Courtesy is of the feedback.
Yeah.
Here we go. We're going back live on air. Mike Wichello, we're getting ready, buddy.
Okay.
Hey, welcome back to the second half of the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We do appreciate it, and we appreciate you tuning in. Just had a texter that said, hey, they looked at the picture of the St. Bridget House of Hope, and it's green. It is green. It is Irish green. Again, that open house is tomorrow, 1 to 3. Would love to have any CCO listeners attend. There's a little sign-up link on our Facebook, on the O'Neill Foundation of Hope Facebook as well. Some good questions and texters coming in. Scott, we were talking a little bit about feedback and the importance of feedback as well. And again, Mike Wichello, Opportunities in Business. Mike, welcome to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thanks for being on, buddy.
Thanks for having me, Ryan.
Tell people a little bit your background. Who are you? What are you doing? And where are you at now in your life? Mike's like, how do I respond to that?
Mike Wichello. I've owned a couple businesses myself, got into the business brokering because I owned a couple businesses. I owned a property management company, always been around real estate. The company that sold my business was Opportunities in Business. So I found it pretty interesting selling businesses in the real estate market. Also, a lot of these businesses come with real estate. So it was something I was really interested in, and I've been going after it ever since with Opportunities in Business. They've been around since 1981. And we focus in small to medium-sized businesses, Ryan. That's anywhere from $100 to $50 million is our main focus for small businesses.
Mike, I've always been so fascinated by this because, we sell residential real estate primarily. We do some commercial, but for the most part, primarily where we can look and within a percent, we know what the house is worth. I mean, you do your analysis. You break it down, you say, well, this is what it's worth within a couple percent. In your business, there's so for example, we were talking earlier, I used to own 3 daycare center preschools, and then I went to sell those to my directors, and we would evaluate it. Well, because the evaluation, and I'm going to screw this up, is it called Blue Sky? So basically what the evaluators were saying, well, Scott, when you're there, yeah, the business is worth this,
Right.
because you're there. But when you leave, you just basically have a list of people that say, hey, I agree to give you a bunch of money every week. But if they go away, there's really no value in the business. So I was interested in how they evaluated it and what they came up with, what it was worth.
Right. And a lot of times too, the problem is every business owner is trying to save on taxes. So a lot of times
They're not showing as much
right,
income.
so
Yeah.
you're going for their net income, and it's tough to get top dollar. The money's there, but they're writing off a lot on their taxes.
Yes.
So, Mike, is it a multiple of? I've always heard a multiple of EBITDA,
Yeah.
which is an accounting term that said, okay, if the business made $100,000 this year, then depending upon that industry that you're in, there's a multiple for, say, for example, the restaurant industry. And then that is how you help determine the value of the business. And again, is there real estate involved? Is that a lot kind of how you do that?
Yeah, that's exactly how it goes, Ryan. I mean, you basically, as a rule of thumb, that's what a lot of people think, but there's a little more to it because every business is so different. Like Scott said, if the owner is, is one of the workers, that factors in the price. But the generic valuation is what you just said. There's multiples, usually 2.5 to 3 times of the last 3 years. You take the last 3 years of taxes, average them out, and then 2 to 3 times the multiple is the number. But you still want to look at comps, what's been selling in that industry also.
Well, I always think in terms, because of course it hit home when we were getting the evaluations for the preschools to be done. But it always reminded me of the same kind of a thing. You have a doctor's office, and let's say the doctor's office is making $1 million a year, okay, net, but the doctor that's there is the reason that the patients are going there. So I would assume that when you sell a doctor's office, or let's say a dentist office, or whatever, where it's so driven by one individual that they'd almost have to stay on board and work for a while. I mean, to transition over their client base, correct?
Yeah, that's the same in the business. They would want to stay in it. I mean, when you're looking for a buyer in something like that, you're looking for another dentist, another doctor to take over, almost like an insurance agent taking over their book of business.
Yeah.
I suppose if a business has a lot of systems, processes in place where it's not totally dependent on that one individual or that core person, that then again, someone else could come into the business and say, okay, I could step in, and it's more of almost, still some management, but more of a financial investment. What makes you guys different though? I mean, compared to other business brokers, do most business owners use a business broker, or is it kind of like real estate where maybe, a small percentage try to FSBO it, sell themselves? What do most people do, Mike?
Most people try, a lot of people try to sell it on their own, and then they'll go to a business broker. And the big thing with a business broker is when you're selling your business, you really don't want the general public to know, or your employees. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So, you're working a lot with non-disclosures. Sometimes when I sold my property management company, my employees didn't know till the day we closed, because you don't want to lose business, and you don't want to lose your employees.
Yeah. I mean, I think like Ryan's business. I mean, with him, so it doesn't really matter if he's there or not. Just anybody could buy his business and just slide into Ryan's position. He won't have to work at all. He can just sell it and go.
When I kick the can.
When you kick the can.
Kick the can and just say, here you go. You take it over. It is interesting though, Mike. I mean, you think about that with businesses, and how do most people, what do they use for money to buy the business? What do most people do?
What people don't realize is, you're buying $1 million. Say you're buying $1 million business. People think you need to come up with $1 million, but through SBA financing, I mean, they'll finance 80%, and most sellers will take a 10% carryback.
Yeah.
So they want 20% into the transaction. 9 times out of 10, almost 10 times out of 10, the seller's got to carry about 10% back. And at that point, I don't think the seller really cares, if I get my money back, if I don't.
Yeah, they're saying, here's what I sold it for, and this would be a bonus.
Is it hard?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is it hard, Mike, to get that loan? Like for people to qualify, like if I'm starting a new business, or I'm buying the business, but let's say, okay, I don't have a lot of assets to show, but the business looks really great. I mean, how does that work from an SBA with like a lending standpoint? You know what I mean? Versus a mortgage where lenders say, look, Scott, you need X amount down, you need good credit, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you kind of hit it right on the head. You need good credit, and the business has to make sense for the lender, that the business is making money. So those two variables are huge. And if you're doing $1 million transaction, they're probably going to end up hooking your house or some sort of asset. SBA will, and that's a government loan.
Yeah.
They're pretty easy to get if you have good credit and the business is showing money, and you do have a home to hook it with. But they will do it without the SBA will do it without hooking one of your properties.
Yeah.
Too.
Well, I would also think that it's like anything else when you're getting a loan of any kind. They look at risk. So that's why when you have lower credit, you pay a higher interest rate. And I would think with this, if you're going to, let's say, buy a restaurant, the failure in restaurants is very, very, very strong, heavy.
Yeah, correct.
So I would think that they'd be a little bit more cautious on who is stepping in to buy a restaurant, or the worst thing, to start their own restaurant.
Right.
And then they want $500,000 to start their own restaurant, and they've got no backing, they've got nothing to back it up.
Yeah, and the easiest SBA loan would be almost like example I'm working with right now. A guy owns a gutter company and he's acquired another gutter company.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, they know he's in that line of work. They know his business right now is successful. He's just adding to it.
Yeah.
SBA really likes those loans.
Hey, I put up on my Facebook this past week, and I think next weekend, let's ask this young man to call in.
Yes, that's right.
So in my flyer, I put up on my, I got a car clean auto detailing flyer. Nice picture, description, they'll remove all trash, clutter, vacuum the seats, do all this. In the note, it says, "Hi, my name is Este Carr. I'm 12 years old and I love making cars look great. Let me take care of you. Call or text me for pricing or scheduling." So I texted him and I said, "Good for you, Este." I said, "Gosh, that hustle and heart is going to take you far in life."
Yes, it will.
We're going to get him on the Minnesota Real Estate Show, Scott. That's a must.
It will. Does he have a phone number on
He
it?
does have a phone
Let's
number.
see-
Yeah, I
let's see.
texted him. Yep.
Okay, is he fine with us getting it out?
Well, it's 612-702-2374 is his number.
702-2374.
Yeah, 23. We'd like to have him call in, though. That's, you know what I mean? Think about that. You're 12 years old.
It's awesome.
What is that, Scott? What is that at that point? What would you say as a parent? What is it for a young person to do that?
Well, I mean, that's what, when you sent that out, first thing I did was text Ryan and said, the parents get a lot of credit for this, because you're building a work ethic into a 12-year-old that he's going to carry through his entire life. I don't think you can do a better service to your child than realizing that. My kids all worked for me in real estate when they were in high school, and they got paid on producing. They didn't get paid on doing hourly work. They got paid on doing something that generated a sale, and so on. So they learned that you get paid in this world by producing for other people. That's how you get paid.
Hey, one quick note about the St. Bridget House of Hope. An important element to our foundation is work. We are talking about work. So the gentleman, the family moving in, they are working. It's very important to us to be working, to be seeking employment. Just the dignity, the importance of it. There's a lot of conversation about that. But we're at our final break of the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We appreciate you joining us here. Hope your weekend's going well. We'll be back after the break. Mike, really good stuff. Really good stuff. Businesses. I think it's important. You know what I mean? And when with the real estate too, if you got that, what percent of your deals are
here's the
having
thing-
real estate or
here's
no
the
real
thing
estate?
With real estate, it goes back to the NDA. You know, I'm learning as I go, and like a real estate. God, what was I getting at? But the transaction is, most people don't want, like if you're selling a restaurant, they don't want the general public to know you're for sale.
Yeah.
Sure. If
So
you're
you
selling the
can't go
restaurant.
to Ryan or you and say, hey, put a big sign in the front yard, in the parking lot. This place is for sale. You know what I mean? They don't
Yeah.
want that.
That's right. Well, and your MLS, so to speak, is
Biz by sell.
yes.
That's
Biz
all
by
it is.
sell?
So you-
That's it.
.com.
Yep.
so
Can
you-
consumers go there?
Yeah.
But a lot of times they don't have, even when you go there, a lot of times it will have the area, but it won't necessarily have the address.
Never
of the,
will.
Correct. Yeah.
Biz
Never
by
will.
sell.
Yeah.
It'll say like Western
Yes.
Hennepin County.
I see.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't want, I mean, especially up north. or down south or in Iowa in a small town.
Yeah.
And they say, hey, the only restaurant in town is for sale.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
We
You
had
know
a
exactly who it is.
we had a commenter saying that we would love to see Scott get back into daycare.
Trust me, it was so.
Dude, you need to get
Did you
back
do it?
in.
Scott, did
It's
you do
time to
anything-
hang up real
do
estate.
anything with it? No.
Well. So here's the thing that's funny is because again, my personality now is the same as it was back then, and so I own these daycare centers. Well, the centers I bought were in trouble. The first one I bought had 6 kids.
Okay.
It was going out of business. So I bought the daycare center, met with the family, said, hey, if you were to design a daycare center, preschool, how would you design it? And that's how I did it.
Okay.
But anyways, because there's no money coming in, I literally opened. So I opened the preschool room every morning, and I closed the toddler room every night.
You did?
For almost a year.
Oh, you didn't watch any of the kids.
Oh no, I did. That's what I
Oh,
mean.
did
You would watch.
Because that's the only way to save money. I kept the teachers loose. So I opened the preschool. And one morning I know, which was funny to me, the parents come in and all the preschoolers that were in there was like 7 in the morning. They all have their heads down on the desk. And it's quiet. Parents came in, they're like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, dude, I put them all in timeout. Guilt by association. That's how we do it at Building Blocks. That was the name. The first
Building blocks.
Building Blocks.
What
yeah.
year was this? Could you still spank the kids?
It was.
or
It
no?
was. You could not spank the kids. It was 1990.
Oh yeah, I was
maybe
way too
3 to
late.
1997.
That ended up. The spanking ended in the 70s.
Yeah, you could
When
spank in school.
when I was
but
a kid.
I had the record.
You could?
I had 16 spanks by Mr. Stouts in 4th grade on the.
Here we go.
Well, I had none.
Oh, yeah.
They would hit.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. We're going back on CCO. Hey, welcome back to the final segment of the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We appreciate you listening. Just a couple other listings to hit, Scott. We've got one in Lakeville. Dan Vigdal, affectionately known as Uncle Dan Vigdal, has one at 17743 Layton Path in Lakeville. It's in Brackett's Estate. It's a custom built home. Living there, you can get a social or a golf membership. It's got new vinyl decking and a roof. There's also a large paver patio. Beautiful perennial flower beds, perfect for entertaining, Scott. There's an aerial photo of these landscaping features, $750,000. That one is going to be an open house tomorrow, Sunday. Scott, open house Sunday, 12 to 3. That's 17743 Layton Path in Lakeville. And then we've got Cecilia Giron has got a wonderful listing. This one, Scott, she said, it's here's 5 bullet points for this one. It is one-of-a-kind Victorian home with soaring high ceilings, timeless architectural charm. It's fully integrated smart home living, featured automated lighting, smart locks, Nest thermostat, ADT security, built-in Google speakers, security cameras, all on one network. 3-bed, 3-bath, oversized 2-car garage. It's priced at $239,900. And there's an open house today and tomorrow, 1 to 3. 607 4th Street Southwest. That's in Wilmer. 607 4th Street Southwest in Wilmer, Scott. A very nice one.
Very cool. I've got a message. Love the show, guys. I would have thought Ryan owned daycare centers, not you, Scott. But again, enjoy the show. Losing out in multiple offers. I've written 5 with my agent. Cannot get it through. Any advice on what we should be doing from a multiple offer standpoint?
Yeah.
To make sure they get their offer accepted.
Yeah, we have with our team, the Minnesota Real Estate team, we've got a list of the 25 best practices that literally we encourage our agent and the buyer, show it to their buyer and go through every one of these 25 things. The likelihood you're going to win is a lot greater. Linda Hipp just messaged me this week. She's won 2 of them because of the list. But Scott, obviously price, very important. Earnest money, very important. Lender you're using, very important. Are they known? Are they local? Inspection or no inspection? Is it contingent on inspection? What else, Scott?
No, those are all the things. Basically, it comes down to, for every seller, it comes down to money in their pocket and the least amount of hassles that could come through the deal. So if you're writing a home inspection and your thought is, well, I don't know why they wouldn't accept an offer with a home inspection. I mean, what are they scared of? They're not scared of anything. But if 5 other offers don't have a home inspection, they're going to go with the offer that doesn't have a home inspection. I use a scorecard where with each one of my buyers where we rate what their offer is going to look like based on a scorecard. Are you a cash buyer? That's 10 out of 10. Are you at 20%? That's 9 out of 10. Are you 10%? That's 7 out of 10, or all the way down to FHA or 0 down. Are you asking for an inspection? Are you not? And at the end, you can look at your scorecard and say, okay, you have about a 20% chance of getting this house. So before we even submit it, you know that the possibility of you getting the house is not there. So at least the buyer can say, okay, well, what do we have to change? And you have to have faith in your agent to make sure that they're advising you correctly. But you know, you can write offer after offer after offer after offer after offer, and do that for, you know, till you're blue in the face, especially if you're in that 3 to 500 range.
The other thing is make your first offer in a multiple offer situation. Make your first offer your best offer. So if you lose, you can go to bed at night and feel okay that you tried your best. A lot of buyers and agents will say, well, geez, why didn't they counter my offer?
There's 20 offers.
Yeah.
So they're not countering 20. Everybody wants their offer countered. Well, I mean, we would have paid that. Well, everybody would have paid that. So you put your best foot forward. I always tell my people, look, if you don't get it and you found out, that's okay, because I wouldn't have paid $1 more for that house. I put my best number forward, and if I get beat, you can sleep at night. But if you're holding back and you find out you're beat, and you're like, well, I would have paid another $5,000. Well, you should have put that on the paper.
Yeah. Don't hold back, Scott.
Don't hold back.
Hey, Mike Wichello, opportunities in business. Anything else for us, for folks from a business standpoint? What is the cost for your services? Also, people, how can they reach you?
You can reach me at, you can email me at mike.wichello, WHICHELLO at OIBMN.com. And the first step, Ryan, is it's a seller's market right now. We've got a shortage of listings, and we offer a free, I hate to say the word free, but a no fee cost for basically a market analysis on your business.
Tell them what it's worth.
Yeah, because typically if you're thinking of selling your business right now, it takes 6 to 12 months is kind of the average time from the start of the process to selling the business and walking away, or staying on with the business for a little bit.
What's the normal cost, Mike? You know, obviously in real estate, you anything from, you know, people say whatever 4 to 7%. You know, with a company, what's the cost with a business broker?
Yeah, it all depends on the price, but you know, we're rating that, you know, it's 10%. I think our lowest minimum fee is $25,000 for, you know, a smaller business, but typically between 7 and 10%. But if it gets in the millions, we'll work with the seller.
OIB, it's very cool. Again, if you go to mnrealestateshow.com, there you can find information about Mike Wichello. Opportunities in business. Great company. You guys were on one other time. We appreciate it. We appreciate you being part of the show. It's an important element to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. A lot of great people in our state that own businesses, oftentimes with real estate. And that's not something that, again, we as agents do. We don't get involved with the business aspect, Scott. So having somebody like Mike on board really is helpful.
I appreciate it, Ryan. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I'm hanging at the OIB.
Hey,
Right, the OIB. That, like when I called Ryan I didn't ask him for months. It'd be on a Friday night. He's like, "Hey, I'm just coming back from what is it?
OLG.
The OLG." And I never said anything because I was like, "Oh, that must be a nightclub or something cool." That's his church. The old, what is it?
Our Lady of Grace.
Our Lady of Grace. He's like, "Oh, I'm just heading back from the OLG." I was like, "Hey,
You had OIB.
very cool."
Hey, Mike, before we let you go, owning a restaurant, what would you say, bud, for people that are thinking about buying or owning a restaurant or that have done it?
You're going to really like it if you do it. Buy a restaurant.
Honestly?
No.
No? Seriously, what would you say?
Yeah, it's a young man's game, I think. You got to put a lot of time in. You got to be there. You got to watch everything. People like to see the owner there, and if you like that kind of work in the hospitality business, it's a great.
Why did you succeed, do you think? Because you did succeed.
Well,
you're a modest guy.
I was.
You were
I was
there
all
You
the
were there
time.
all the time.
I was there all the time, and I talked to all the.
You talked to
customers.
everybody.
Yeah.
Well, and
That got me out of a lot of work.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. That is for somebody that's owned small businesses. The daycares are a prime example of that. When I would when I would buy one daycare and fill it up, and then I would buy another one, start filling that up, the one I left to a director, the enrollment would go down.
Yeah.
And it's not that the director wasn't a quality person, she was, but it's that they want to talk to the owner. They want to see you. They want to make sure you still care. And so you're right. It is, if you're thinking about buying a restaurant blind and letting other people run it for you, no way.
You have to be there.
Yeah.
Bottom line, you have to be there. You cannot be an absentee owner.
Yeah.
It'll never succeed.
Hey, Scott, great job. Great show. Last thought?
No, just right now, again, really good time to buy. You know, we're starting to see things sit a little bit. We're definitely seeing pricing coming down, settling in, I should say. And so rates are going to come down when the war is done. So buying at real value and then redoing your loan maybe 10 months from now when rates come down is what you want to do, versus we're starting to see all those 2000 to 2001 buyers come around. They've lived there for 5 years. They bought their house for $390 and it's only worth $320 right now. So again, buy for what the home is worth, adjust your rate over time.
Hey, reach out to Luminate Bank. Mike Overson and his team do a wonderful job. And again, listeners, you are all welcome tomorrow to the open house, the St. Bridget House of Hope, helping those in our community struggling with housing. 1 to 3 tomorrow. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, Ryan.
Hey, great job.
That was awesome.
Mike
Thank you.
Wichello. You can tell this guy is fun. He's great to have on air. Businesses is so important. So important to have somebody like Mike in your corner. So appreciate it. Appreciate everybody. Great show, guys.
Yep,
Thanks.
you too. Appreciate it,
Great.
guys.
Yeah,
for
thanks
listening.
everybody for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Take care, everybody.